Wednesday, January 21st, and you're watching the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by our good friends over at FanDuel. Welcome into the show today. We have a great show for you today. I'm the host, Jason Cooper, alongside my producer for the next hour and a bit, Jacob Gramegna. And like I said off the top, we have a great show for you today. Starting a little weak, but we build up as the show goes on. It peaks in the middle, and it might get really good towards the end, depending on how Kirk is feeling if he brought his winners today. Don't worry, I asked. I said, make sure you bring your winners like you did last time. Leading things off, today we got Mr. Peanutbettor. Or, as Matt Zilbert likes to call him, Mr. Peanutbettor, as he calls him on Twitter all the time. Mr. Peanutbettor, Mike. You've seen him on Circle Back coming on. We're going to talk a little bit about some NBA stuff, awards markets, futures. Going to ask him a little bit what it's like transitioning from the college football season into the NBA. I see his whiteboard behind him. He looks like he's done a lot of work this week. Proud of him. Looks empty. Looks like he got a haircut too. Looks sharp and ready to go for today, just for the show. Look at that. Look at that. After that, we got Geoff coming on. And we're, of course, going to talk about the American Express. Scotty Scheffler's in the mix. Plus 300. If you look at the board, it's him and then everyone else is like 22-1. It's like, oh, my goodness gracious me. Oh, my goodness gracious me. It's just, I do this all the time. All these, not financial advice, but every single boost I have, if I have any PGA boosts, Scotty Scheffler. Dump it all on him. Can ask Geoff if that's the right thing to do. He is a very sophisticated square, and I think he's graduated from being a sophisticated square. He's being like a, I don't even know what is the in-between. What's the in-between there?
Rec Plus.
Rec Plus?
That's probably even underselling it.
Yeah. Live to get limited. There we go.
Winning better.
Winning better.
I don't know.
Winner who punts often. Anyways, Jeff's going to come on and talk to PJ. But I also want to talk to him about this ugly divorce just south of the border of us here in Canada. Between the Buffalo Bills, Sean McDermott, the owner, Terry Pagula, and Brandon Bean, the GM. A lot of stuff thrown around today in that conference. And I love the media, and I love the way that people react to the media, because everything that you see put out there always has a spin, always has a narrative. It always comes from someone. It's out there for a reason. So
I don't know, man. There was a direct quote.
Well, that
roasting one of their wide receivers. So.
That was a direct quote, and it's funny because that was all comes from them trying to defend themselves based on I think it was the Adam Schefter report about this like meeting that they had, criticizing the talent on the roster. At the end of the day, you have Josh Allen. You didn't win. Like, can't do that for 7 years, not win. And then finally, close out the show with Kirk. Got some great NBA player props for us. He was on the show last week. First winning bet of the show in the show history. Not only did he have his first winning day, he had his first sweep of the board. 3-0. Thought the sky was falling when that happened. I was worried a meteor would strike and hit the earth the next day, but no, we're alive. We're here. Kirk is back. And again, like I said in that first time he came on this year, I said, Kirk, please, only give us winners. Only give us winners. Speaking of winners, shout out to Isaac for giving us a 10-1 anti-correlated SGP yesterday that ended up winning. Also, shout out for him giving us Medvedev. Lost the first set bet, -1.5. But placed a future on him. Got a great sweat out of it. Ended up moving on.
This guy was like
-1,000.
-1,200 to win the match. We got him through another round.
We got the sweat out of it, which is what we care about. So appreciate Isaac. Isaac also has a big.
To be honest, I'd rather it instead of losing late, I'd rather it lose there so you can dump on Isaac for kicking out a future. It loses the first leg at -1,200.
All right, I'm not going to dump on Isaac anymore. He did a great job on the show yesterday. People appreciate him. We see your comments after the show. People commenting how much they like Isaac. No one's ever commented like that about Mr. Peanutbettor. So that's how you know it's true. Anyways, Isaac ended up giving out another one on Twitter. Told me I can give it out on the show as well. Ethan Quinn, plus 300. It's moved to plus 270, so I don't know if it's still good at FanDuel. Maybe you can shop around, find a better price out there because kid moves markets. What can I say? Before we get into things on this fine Wednesday, just want to give you a quick shout out to our friends over at BetStamp. All right. I know you've been on the fence about trying BetStamp Pro. This is the cheapest and easiest way you're going to get in all year. They're running a post-season special right now, 1 week of BetStamp Pro for 50% off the normal weekly price. That gives you full access to every single screen, odds feeds, and market for the entire week. That's props, main markets, alt lines, plus all major prediction markets, including full order book history, so you can actually see how these markets are trading. This is the same screen that syndicates and betting groups use to identify scalable plays and stay ahead of the market. Available for a limited time. This is the lowest commitment way to try it during the biggest betting month of the year. Scan the QR code on screen or click that link in the description. You should do it. If you're ever going to do it, it's going to be this week because we still have some NFL action going on here. There's tons and tons and tons of good looks out there. Let's see if we can find anything on FanDuel quickly. Not that many games, so it's tough to find on FanDuel. Maybe I'll find something in the NBA for you. Sure. We'll go for, let's see. What do we like here? We'll go Kyle Kuzma assists minus 1.5. Or sorry, over 1.5 assists minus 205. FanDuel really likes that one. Or sorry.
Have fun sweating a Kyle Kuzma bet.
BetStamp Pro really likes that one. The over 1.5 minus 205. Best price in market by far. It's like 2.5 minus 120 in some spots. So like, you're getting a good number here. You're getting a good number here. Can we get that pricing for Super Bowl week? Yes, I believe you can. I believe they'll be running this for a little while. Don't quote me on it. I'll have to ask the guys on the team. We can talk about it next week. Shout out to Nicholas in the chat saying he made a quick little $200 on that 10-1 from Isaac. Thank you, sir. Of course. I see you guys in the chat talking about this McDermott divorce. I agree. Bean should be out. I'm going to talk about that when Geoff comes on. We made him wait long enough already. Can't believe we're already 7 minutes into the show. Man, do I like to ramble. All right, let's bring him on up. He's a prediction market punter. You've seen him on Circle Back. And he's done his work this week. Empty whiteboard behind him. Fresh haircut. Looking good. Just got out of the shower. Gel in the hair. GRP style. Mr. Peanutbettor, how's it going, my friend?
I got to ask, do you know how you said the show's going to build up, but then it's going to peak in the middle, and then actually maybe it will get even better at the end?
Yes.
I don't think you understand like how peaks work.
Well, it is guaranteed to be excellent in the middle. It all depends on what Kirk brings to the table if we can continue that rise towards the end. So there might be a peak in the middle, but we have potential to get exponentially even better. And you also set the stage so well for Geoff because we're starting so low right now that it can only get better. So, how's it going? You got your haircut. You're happy. Like you're looking good.
Yeah, I'm feeling rested. CFB's over. This time where it overlaps is basically, hell for me as far as just managing things. So getting to just NBA is a little bit better.
All right. Let's talk about your process going from the end of college football into the NBA. I know you've been betting the NBA all year, but like, do things change when college football is over? I know that it's college football has basically been over because it's like we had that week and a half break between the semifinals games and the conference and the national championship. But anything different for you?
Yeah. Well, college football, like during the playoffs, honestly, the lines and limits go up so fast and the market's so efficient that I'm not really running it that much during that postseason anyways. Bowl season, it's more, it's not the same process as it is throughout the year where during bowl season, you're basically just looking at who's available, who's not available, different things like that. It's not like a regular season game where you're running through your normal metrics and stuff, but NBA is just more day-to-day kind of grinding the information news. It's way more information-based, having to keep up on it 24/7. Whenever it's college football, I'm like, I can't wait for NBA to start. And by the time NBA is ending, I'm, ready to be done with it. So they're very different in terms of how much news and stuff go into it. But obviously it's the same. We're just making a number, betting a number.
All right. Yeah. It's simple as that. Make a number, bet a number, bet numbers, not teams. Some people disagree with you. Some people would agree with that. But yeah, we're about, let's call it 42-ish games, 41 games, literally at the halfway point of the NBA season.
We're a little past it.
A little past it?
Tiny bit.
Tiny bit? I see the Pistons have 41 games played.
Oh, well, Raptors like 45.
Okay, so some teams have
slightly past
it. All right.
About half.
About halfway. Let's say 52% of the way through the NBA season. Looking back, what's been your biggest reaction, thoughts, meaningful trend used loosely? I think you're more so, you understand what I'm saying here when I fully ask this question, but just your biggest reaction, or just something that's at the front of mind that you've noticed that has persisted throughout the NBA season that has affected how you've been betting this year, if anything at all.
I would say that the league has flattened compared to 3-4 years ago where you would talk. And I mean, if we go back to the Golden State Cleveland days, it was I wasn't betting seriously then, but the odds of both of those teams making the finals, it seemed like a foregone conclusion. And those teams were just so much better than everybody else that they were competing with. And now this year you go into the East and there's realistically, maybe 6 teams that can win it. And that's probably, that's just your regular outcomes. There's probably some tail outcomes where it goes even beyond that. So I think that the amount of teams that are good but not great has increased so much that you kind of see from game to game a lot more variation of who's expected to win, and who's a lot more teams are trying now because there's not as much hopelessness. Where the Warriors, the Thunder, we can argue about whether they're as dominant as the Warriors were, or probably not that yet, but close to it. But in terms of just how many teams are trying to be good, the number is certainly higher than it was, 3-4 years ago, and how many teams feel they have a chance. So that kind of impacts the way that they're handled from a coaching perspective, minutes, rotations, everything like that.
Okay. That makes perfect sense there. Kind of things are spread out, maybe not, well, still a little spread out in the West. OKC is obviously dominant. OKC is the exception to this rule. But the East is super tight. And look at you. You have the notes. You're doing the segues for me. You can run this segment yourself if you want to. Let's talk about the East, because there's 3 teams sort of clustered at the top in terms of odds right now for the East. It's the Pistons, the Celtics, and the Knicks, all around 330 to 380-ish range. And there's a couple teams behind them, like the Sixers and, our Raptors are there, 30-1, the Hawks. Talk us about this East race, how close it is, and who you see coming out at the end of the day.
Sure. It depends in how much you believe, first, if Jason Tatum is coming back anything near full strength. I personally am pretty skeptical that he's going to come back and be an impact player beyond, maybe he's a low-end starter, which is still valuable to have on your team, especially at the position he plays, but clearly is not Jason Tatum. So if you think that Jason Tatum's coming back at anything close to what he was, then the Celtics really need to be the kind of standalone favorite. If you don't, and I don't right now, I think that the East really is, like I said, I think it's 6 teams deep, maybe more like 5. I think that New York, Detroit really aren't that much separate from Cleveland and Orlando. I think that those two both have had some health struggles, and you could see them start to play their better basketball towards the end of the season. So Detroit's been the best so far, them in Boston, but I just don't see those teams I don't think that they have as much high-end talent, the best starting 5, like Cleveland and Orlando. I think at least are comparable to them, if not even better, at the top end, which I think matters more once we get into the playoffs.
All right. Any chance for I have some tickets on Cavs to make it out of the East. Do you think they have some lifeblood here to come out? I know they've kind of looked down and out to start the year, but seem to have crawled their way back in.
Yeah. So, I'm last year obviously went with the Cavs and went crashing in my face, but this year I still believe that they have the potential upside to win the East if they get healthy, but it's starting, the clock's starting to tick on the time they need to both get right and kind of mesh everyone together. It seemed like they were starting to get there finally. They picked up maybe, I think, 4 wins in a row. We're looking pretty good, had a pretty dominant win against Minnesota, and then Darius Garland hurts his toe and he's out again for the next couple weeks. So they have to get healthy all at the same time. They have the kind of the group that could be benefited the most from everyone getting healthy and getting on the same page. So I still believe in their ceiling, and I still believe that if everybody is healthy, they're, right, that they are as good, if not better than everyone. The thing is, you don't get to play out the year a million times. You only get to play it out once, and time's starting to kind of tick on this team.
All right, was it the chicken or the egg? Was it you or Flup who was on the Cavs? Who's the chicken, who's the egg here last year?
I would say that I don't know which comes first, the chicken or the egg.
I don't know. I guess I fucked that up. Never mind.
Yeah, the question doesn't in itself. We'll leave it to that. I'll say that Flup is the chicken, and I'm the egg.
All right, because Flup's a chicken. Makes perfect sense. Let's move on to the awards markets, which we wanted to discuss here today. Right now, let's start with the MVP. Let's kind of make our way through the entire awards markets and see if there's anything you like that's still available here. Right now, Shea's minus 350 to win the award. It's kind of tough to bet a minus 350 with the risk of injury on any award. Is there anyone else you like that you feel like could compete if Shea doesn't get hurt?
I think that this market should be more like minus 600, minus 700.
wow.
I just don't see a world in which if Shea plays a meaningful amount of games that he doesn't win it. They're going to have, 10 more wins than everybody else, or at least 5-6 more wins than everybody else. He's been, I think statistically, he's been the best player in the NBA so far. He was the MVP last year and isn't doing much different. I just don't understand kind of the case for anybody else other than injury. And Shea's been remarkably healthy throughout his career. They're going to be up a ton in terms of standing, so they'll be able to rest him when they need to. So he's not going to be pushing himself that hard. I think that basically the chance of injury is, 90% of the chance of him losing this. So I just don't see how Luka or Jokic, if he played the entire season, certainly would have had a chance. It's going to be hard to make a case for a guy that is several games back in the standing and missed so much time. So I just think that this one's pretty wrapped up at this point.
All right, pretty wrapped up here at this point, according to Mr. Peanutbettor here. Let's move on and talk Defensive Player of the Year. Had a lot of people come on here talk Rudy Gobert to win Defensive Player of the Year. We got some tickets early on in the season, around like 20-ish to 1. I want to say Kirk came on here and gave him out like as deep as like 40 to 1. Currently plus 340 right now. If you had to make a bet on this market, do you think Chet Holmgren can hold up and get that games played minimum to win this award? Same question with Victor Wembanyama, who's plus 750 here. I think he might have to only miss like 3 or 4 more games to miss this threshold.
I think it's 2.
It's 2.
Actually.
Wow. Okay.
I'm not sure, but I remember it being 2.
Anyways, in terms of that, those are the 3 top guys, with Chet Holmgren being the odds-on. Anyone you like in terms of Defensive Player of the Year?
Yeah, I think that Wemby is being pretty severely underpriced right now.
Okay.
If he gets to the games limit, he's going to win it, or at least he should by a wide margin. He's by far the best defensive player in the game. Look at his on-off numbers. Obviously, look at the impact he has around the rim. He is the best defensive player. The question is, can he get to those 65 games? And at first, I was pretty skeptical. I didn't think that he would get there. And there's still certainly a chance he doesn't. But he is trying to do everything in his power to get the 65 games. I think this is one of those situations where somebody's intent really matters. And the fact that he is playing in back-to-backs, he's going to play 22 minutes, the bare minimum, in order to get there. And he's doing basically everything he can in his power to make he gets to the minutes and gets to the games played. So that's one of those things where they're going to do whatever's necessary to get him to the 65 games. Sometimes, his body can't take it, and they won't make it. But it certainly looks like that's a goal for him. And I think if he gets to the 65, it's his to lose, with wide margin.
Of course, yeah. Confirmation there from Jacob. 3 games is what he needs to miss here. But again, with the Spurs just, wanting to win as many games as possible here in the NBA.
He can miss 3 games.
Oh, he can miss. So if he misses 4, he's out.
Yes.
Okay. So he's got a 3-game buffer. Just need him to not get hurt, it seems like here. And then price will just get better and better for you. But yeah, Spurs nipping at the heels of the Thunder. They want to hold that second spot in the West there. Next award to go into. Rookie of the Year. I mean, we saw Knuppel, Cooper Flag kind of go
Knipple, yeah.
Knipple. Go back and forth sort of for this award. Flag's just completely separated himself, minus 900 right now. But any reason to think why Cooper Flag wouldn't win the award? The Mavericks do kind of suck, so I guess maybe that's a reason. But yeah, talk us through this one here. Hornets also.
The Mavs aren't good. The Hornets have been surprisingly frisky as of late. They've lost a lot of close games, but they've just, in terms of like net rating and actually being a quality team, have been quite good this season. Or not quite good, but have been not bad. And basically, Khan is having the best rookie shooting season of all time, and it's kind of being slept on. And I believe that, long-term, Cooper is the better player, better prospect by far. But this season, I'm not so sure that the difference is as great as the current odds make it. So I would say that right now, Khan probably has some value, but it does also seem like, even though he might play better, it does seem like everybody's already decided on Cooper, just based on his long-term prospects and his long-term upside.
All right. Seems like, just like a achievement award, or like giving it to the right guy when they look back like 10 years from now. It's like, oh, how did Cooper Flag not win this award? More of reputation based than anything else. Most improved player, Jacob. Denny.
Denny Avdia.
Oh, Denny.
Denny Avdia. My bad.
Yeah.
Right now, -170 to win most.
Danny. I was like, who's Danny?
Not enough coffee today. Denny Avdia -170 right now to win most improved. Is he locked in? Like this award feels so fluid. I believe it was. I don't think he was this close. Maybe 20 games ago. Anyone else you like in terms of this award, or you like Denny at the -170?
So he did suffer a back injury, which is concerning just based on what they decide to do down the end of the season for a team that might not necessarily be in it. But the gap that Denny has made this season, jumping into a legitimate all-star from a guy who was more like a sixth man the year before, it's going to be hard for anyone to surpass him in that kind of area. If you didn't want to take Denny and you did think that the back was a concern, I would probably look a little bit longer down the board. Guys like Jalen Duren, stuff like that, have had a decent season. So if you're not going to go Denny Avdia, I would say look for longer shots because it is fluid, like you mentioned. But if he does play the games, it's hard for me to see Denny not making it just because the leap he's made is so much more substantial than what everybody else has done.
Give me the criteria for NBA Clutch Player of the Year, because I feel like this one is kind of tougher to quantify, tougher to guess. Again, it's all about knowing who the awards voters will vote for. Talk us through Clutch Player of the Year right now. Anthony Edwards +125, Cade Cunningham +310, Shai +430. It seems like odds makers and people betting into this market have kind of shaped highlighted three players who they believe have a chance to win. Anyone you like maybe longer who have a chance to win?
I'll be honest, it's hard to get down on this market, and it's something I don't look into whatsoever. So
all right,
no real takes. I would say that you're probably better off going longer down the board because it's so fluky. I mean, if you think about Clutch Player of the Year, you can have a stretch where you win 2 out of 3 games in the clutch, and then all of a sudden you skyrocket to the favorite. So I would pick somebody who's ball dominant, who's going to get the shots at the end of the game that maybe doesn't have them so far. That would be my strategy for it, but it's not something I've totally looked into.
All right, final one right here, NBA Coach of the Year. Pistons coach Bickerstaff, currently +120 to win the award. Anyone else you take a stab at? There's, again, markets kind of honed in on 4 coaches. Mitch Johnson for the Spurs, Jordan Knott for the Suns, Joe Mazzulla for the Celtics. Anyone you like here?
I don't understand why Mark Daigneault is so low on these odds. It does seem like it's not going to go to him just because we've already decided how good the Thunder are. But if they have lost more games as of late, but if they win close to 70 games and they're this much better than everybody else, and they've lost a ton of games to injury already this season, it seems like he should at least get a look. But with that said, it's also JB's award to lose. They're going to be the 1 seed in the East. It has a high correlation historically with going to a 1 seed. They weren't expected to be this. They beat their Vegas over under, which is also, a big, contributing factor to this. So it's Bickerstaff's to lose, but it does seem like we are kind of some of the guys down the list. I'm not so sure shouldn't be in the second, third place thing if JB were to fall off.
All right. It could also be a situation where we saw this year where there's just too many good options available at the top of the board. It's just hard for a guy like the Thunder's head coach here to win because like we saw with Kyle Shanahan basically in the NFL. Just too many good options at the top of the board where even though in another year he would be clear favorite to win the award, too many good options there. Mr. Peanutbettor, appreciate you joining the show. Mike, appreciate you joining the show. Appreciate you being an absolute boss here today. Yeah, we'll see you on Friday for Circle Back, which, by the way, getting a lot of shit for this Monday episode by someone who doesn't know how to calculate a win-loss record. Someone will take their losses divided by their wins, and then that's their winning percentage. So I feel like we didn't give that person enough. We didn't make fun of them enough for thinking that is how you do that. I think it's hilarious. We brushed over it. So if you can do me a favor on Friday, just mention that.
I know you and your journalistic integrity will get to the bottom of that, so I'll leave that to you. But
well, it'll be me.
It'll be Jacob. Jacob already got to the bottom of it. He calculated. He's like, that's how it was calculated.
Yeah, I can't do that fancy math.
I've done some digging on this one, so I've got a little bit of receipts to show. Which
all right, should be a fun one. Can't wait for it. Friday, 8 a.m. Eastern time. Mr. Peanutbettor, we'll chat soon.
See ya.
All right. Shy, whatever. Doesn't matter. Shay.
Yeah, it's Shay. Come on.
Shay.
He's an MVP. You got to know how to pronounce his name
Shay.
at this point.
Shy.
Shay.
I'm just a little shy. Shy. All right. All right. Good show. Good start to the show. I downplayed it a bit.
It was already good, and now you're saying it's going to peak. So
yeah, well,
it's got to go somewhere from here.
A lot of pressure on Geoff. You know what's crazy? Also, actually, I'll save it for when Jeff's on here because he'll go into his little giggle fit. Does he have the link, by the way? Is he here today? Okay. We're going to bring him on in just a sec. Before we bring him on, just got to give a quick shout out to our friends over at FanDuel. Soccer isn't just the world's game. It's your game. And now FanDuel is giving you a chance to turn every match into a bigger win with a same game parlay profit boost. Build your SGP your way. You can bet first goal scorer, corners, player shots, match results, or you can mix it all together, then apply your profit boost to give your custom bet the boost it deserves. We talked a lot of soccer yesterday. If you want to go check it out, we talked about it with Anthony DeMondo. Go check out yesterday's show. People loved it. Just open the FanDuel app, create your same game parlay, apply that boost right in your bet slip, and you're set to go. Just visit the FanDuel Sportsbook app to get started. It must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas and affiliation, Kansas Star Casino, 18 plus and present in DC, Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Minimum 3-leg parlay requirement. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable profit boost token. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. Visit rg-help.com. Call 1-888-789-7777. Visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut. Visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 1-800-375-050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts, or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. All right. Speaking of yesterday's show, I hope Isaac's friend tailed his 10-1 there because we'll be getting an Amazon
That
purchase.
Amazon wish list. Another thing getting checked off the wish list.
Hopefully we'll get a tweet from him soon. All right. A lot to talk about here in the NFL. We'll bring him on up. We've seen him on Circle Back. We're matching today. I wish he told me to wear the blue Chargers hat. I would have worn a blue Chargers hat with him for matching sweaters. Jeff, how's it going? Is that a Nike Tech?
No.
Oh. I thought you were doing the what's his name?
I only have one of those.
Oh, okay.
I wore it last time.
Okay.
I think. Or maybe, I don't know.
I think you might have.
Yeah.
All right. Welcome to the show, Jeff. How's it going?
It goes.
It's going. Okay. Good to know. I was gonna bring something up when I brought you on air, but now I completely forgot what it was. Oh yeah, you wanted to talk about what you wanted to talk about. You wanted to talk about the AFC Conference Championship game, but you don't want to talk about this year's. You want to talk about the 2027. You want to break down the 2027 AFC Conference Championship. So Jeff, who you got in it? Why?
Yeah, I was just joking with you. I was making fun of you. Should we do hypotheticals? Like you and Dinsink will you'll have Dinsink on in March. You'll be doing wild card weekend hypotheticals.
Yeah, and guess what? We were right to not talk about the Chargers because they were irrelevant this playoff run.
Did they play wild card weekend?
Yeah,
the
they
Chiefs?
did. No, they didn't play.
Okay, so yeah, thanks for wasting our time.
All right. Anyways, let's stick with football.
I'm just pulling your
I know. You're allowed to pull my leg. It's all good, Jeff. Excited for Amex Golf. Excited to talk to American Express. Before we talk about the American Express. Oh, meh.
Three course rotation bullshit. Pro-Am. It's a lot of nonsense.
It's a lot of nonsense. All right. Let's lead things off with the Buffalo divorce, though, because I want to get your take on this, because the NFL is like the lifeblood of the sports media world, it feels like. I know you tuned into the press conference today. You're listening to Bills Media. What's your initial reaction here? This divorce is just as ugly as can be, it feels like. I think there's been enough said in terms of, like, a lot of people feel the same way as a lot of people do. Bean should have been fired alongside McDermott. Somehow managed his way upwards, held on to his job, got a promotion somehow. McDermott ended up being fired. Jeff, what's your opinion on this whole situation here?
Yeah, I don't think it's as like weird or unorthodox that people like that Bean kept his job or got promoted. The Bills have had a very successful decade under Brandon Bean, and obviously Sean McDermott played a part in that. But when you work on the suite floor, there's more opportunity to hobnob the owner and make your case. And obviously, as like a football guy, as Pagula's gotten older, as his wife has apparently gotten more unwell, Bean is a man who he trusts. And I would also say Bean is probably saved by the timing that they're late into this thing. That would be a big ask to like need a GM and a head coach search per se. or to like not have someone you trust, and then you have to like ask Troy Aikman, who like just will tell you to hire the Green Bay Packers. Kind of weird. But as a press conference aficionado, I'd have watched it whether it was controversial or not. Anytime these owners speak when they fire a coach, I like to watch. I like to I love the minutia of the league. I mean, it's guts. It's one of the most awkward press conferences I've ever seen. Mr. Pegula hasn't spoken to the media in that form of setting in probably 8 or 9 years, Jason. And boy, oh boy, did the rush show. And I don't know why. You know, when you had a team as good as Buffalo had been the last 5-6 years, there's no reason Pegula shouldn't have done like a 20-minute powwow every training camp out there at St. John's Fisher. But between saying like, you know, talking about how sad the locker room was after the game, and is this my connection? My connection should be good. I'm hardwired. Am I fine?
Your audio's good. Your
video's
not, but that's okay. Don't worry about it.
We'll work through
That's weird. I should be hardwired. But
it sounds good. Don't worry about it.
Almost acknowledging, talking about whether it was a catch or not, saying that McDermott got fired strictly because of that game, which is weird because then, like, if you thought that was a catch, which it wasn't, or you thought they got screwed, then you're firing him for getting screwed. The whole Keon Coleman thing was hyper bizarre, but like, okay, so a coach with tenure, convinced the GM to make a pick. It's a little weird, but not the weirdest thing. But that doesn't abstain Brandon Beane from like Kareem Elam in the first round or something the year before that. Right? Like, there's enough first rounders there for him to wear as poor picks. And you tell me what you think about this, Jason.
Yeah, no.
If an owner comes on and praises how well the practice squad played when being called into duty, is that credit to the GM or the coach? Now, I'd argue, like, sure, both play a role in that, but these are practice squad guys. They get called in on the fly. How they perform well is you and your coaching staff, right?
Yeah. No, you nailed it, yeah.
So, okay, so we agree on that. It was such a awkward press conference. And for Pegula to be up there that long, and then for Beane to follow him alone, it made it even more awkward because then Beane essentially had to answer for everything Pegula said and then try to interpret what Pegula meant. It was so awkward.
Yeah.
It was. Yeah. One of the strangest things I'd seen, and I watch a lot of those things. I'm boring like that.
No, I think it's fun. If you're in the media world, you have to be tuned into this sort of stuff. Also, the Keon Coleman stuff, it was Pegula who kind of threw McDermott under the bus, not Beane, which a lot of people aren't mentioning, but also the way that it was spoken, the way that it was said, you could tell that it was almost like from Beane's mouth to Pegula's, then Pegula said it himself. But the craziest part of it all is there's a clip from them at the combine when Keon Coleman before he was drafted, saying how grateful they were that he ran a 4.57 40 because they had a better chance of picking him. Then like, we'd be able to pick him then.
There's a lot there. I don't hate Brandon Beane as a football guy, and I could argue he should have fallen on his sword, but
yeah.
That was incredibly awkward. 2027 New York Jets head coach Sean McDermott.
All right, 2027 New York Jets head coach. By the way, the fact that Aaron Glenn is still hired. I was having this conversation with a friend of like, what are the Jets going to do in the draft? Like, I'm thinking about like how they have to like go through this coaching side. I was like, oh no, Aaron Glenn's still there.
I hope I use this word properly because I'm not the smartest. The juxtaposition of the Patriots and the Jets in many ways, but Jared Mayo got 1 year, and he had like a 3-year runway of being told it was his job. You'd have thought like that have even given him more grace. Robert Kraft was like, no, this just didn't work. I'm not throwing good money after bad money with this guy. You'd think Woody Johnson should have seen that and been like, ex-player, we wanted it to work. Didn't work. And what's the point? They're going to then draft a young quarterback, and then in a year, they're going to look for an offensive guy. I don't know. I don't have anything to really say on this though. Yeah,
I don't even think they're going to go get Ruben Bain. I don't think they're going to draft a quarterback because really everyone after Mendoza is like Dante Moore would have been the guy, and he doesn't want to play for the Jets. His agent asked the Raiders, "Are you going to draft this first overall?" No. then I'm going back to college. I don't want to fucking play for the Jets. But hey, he might be going through the same old song and dance next year. Let's flip over and talk golf. But before we talk golf and the American Express, I know you have a little bit of an opinion here on Michael Lasasso leaving Ole Miss, joining Phil Mickelson, joining Liv. A lot of people kind of critical of him giving up his Masters spot. Listen, how old is he? 21, 22 years old. You get thrown $20-ish million at you, guaranteed, basically, around that. I don't know the exact dollar figure. I've seen that number thrown around a bit. I mean, how can you blame the kid?
Yeah, I don't blame the kid. I think it's worth a Masters spot. We've seen other guys give it up to join Liv. We saw Nick Dunlap even give his up when he won the American Express a few years ago. That's not the weirdest thing. And I'd say for Liv, I don't know that this, for a hardo like me, I guess this is good signing for Liv. Because if Liv's on TV and this kid's playing and like Jose Ballester, who's essentially the same guy they signed last year's playing, I'll watch that. It's like top prospect golf.
Yeah.
Sure, yeah. I mean, winning money on the PGA Tour is hard, even if you're granted a pathway to play through the PGA Tour U. These guys are just taking the huge money to play, and if they're good enough, they'll find their way into big events around the world. It's hard to criticize. That sort of deal. Although I don't think it's like good for the game. It's hard to criticize it. It's like, how are you going to blame a college quarterback for taking like $8 million to like stay in school?
Yeah.
I don't think it's like great for the like sport, but can't criticize it either.
Absolutely not. No, fair, very fair there. Do you feel like the golf purists are like a little too, I know you're sort of a golf purist yourself, but there's some purists out there that are like, maybe feel like a little too hard on Michael Lasasso and his decision?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't screw golf, like golf purists. I don't really care for.
All right. Just make the clubs harder to hit with is the biggest thing.
Yes. Yeah, but we don't
need to get into that. All right, let's talk about the American Express here. It kicks off tomorrow. You kind of expressed your disdain for like the 3-course rotation. Talk about like what type of player, what archetype would thrive in this sort of 3-course rotation environment.
Yeah, so it's a 3-course rotation pro-am. There isn't even a cut until after Saturday. It's like like Pebble Beach is like the celebrity pro-am where you'll get like real celebrities and, athletes and stuff. This is more like tournament directors and sponsors of other events, the business side of the tour's pro-am. Hit Seb Straka here a year ago, 80-1. I've had some nice long shot winners here before, and I think it's sort of event where maybe you look to play some longer shots, Jason. But as I mentioned, it's 3 different courses, 3 guys playing 3 different courses on 3 different days. There's a lot more variables, in my opinion, here. And how do I put this? It is essentially a fucking putting contest. As John Rahm walked off the green in disgust, even though he'd won this thing twice before, going as low as 27 under, he smashed his club, this goddamn putting contest. So it's tough. That's why I like to look at the longer shots. Some of the shorter guys, what they do best is neutralized when it just becomes like a wedge and putt off. And even the jabronis can wedge it to 10 feet and get a scorching hot putter.
All right. So as a golf punter myself, doesn't really know much about punt. Also, wait, didn't give you credit, pat on the back, Nick Taylor, top 20. That's a winner. Yeah,
that was. Gave a couple bets last week plus money. That one came home. Yeah. I gave you 2 or 3 outrights. Harry Hall did go off in the final group. It's kind of all you can ask for. Yeah. That's like a muck. We have fun with that. But
exactly. Being live on the final day for the Sony Open, like a tournament like that, where it's like you're betting a 60-1. Like you gave me like 100-1 and 151. Like that's all you can kind of ask for. Yeah, like you're in the mix. You're in the mix, which is all that matters. So got to give you credit for the Nick Taylor 21. But I'm a golf punter myself. Don't usually win. I have fun with it. I'm just a big use all your boosts on Scotty Scheffler kind of guy. What's your opinion on that? Plus 300 right now. The rest of the board is like 22. The next closest is 22-1.
So this is like the easiest can like bite me in the ass because it's saying, because he's the best. He's the best in the world. But I would rather bet Scotty Scheffler to win like the U.S. Open, the Masters, a hard tournament than this one. Like everything he does great, and he's great at everything, is neutralized in this sort of situation, right? When the conditions are the hardest, he is the best. he's the best. This is just, if he's not hitting the 10-footers, and you'd argue that's the weakest part of his game, then he's just not going to win. This is one of the last tournaments on the calendar I would want to bet Scotty Scheffler in.
Okay,
he's the deserved favorite. He's the obvious favorite, but his strengths are absolutely neutralized here. This is crazy to say. He has a better chance of like winning the U.S. Open than he does this tournament. As dumb as that sounds, like Rory's not here. You know, there's so many top guys that aren't here, but I'm crazy enough to like believe what I'm saying. But at the same time, if he wins, I'm not surprised at all. He's the best player in the world by a definitive gap.
All right, let's talk about some bets then that you want to get into here, so I can actually use my my profit boost tokens on this sort of stuff. Anyone you like in terms of the outright markets? Oh wait, no, you don't bet first round leaders.
Well, this is an interesting one because the first round leader, Jason, is 3 separate markets on the 3 different courses.
Okay. So you do bet first round leaders here.
I'm not betting first round leader. I'm not betting it, but I'm saying on this event specifically, it's an even just, I'm giving your audience
some context. We appreciate it.
Yeah, some context. I don't have the mindset to figure out like who's going to be awesome today.
Mm-hmm.
My brain works in trying to think who's a Sunday hero, not a Thursday warrior.
Okay.
And yeah, that's all.
All right. So who do you like to win? Give us some outrights then if you don't like Scotty Scheffler at the plus 300 top of the board.
Yeah. So that, you know, with Scotty here, there always creates opportunities because everyone's numbers sort of like jump up bigly.
Mm-hmm.
If you made me pick one of like the higher end players this year, I would lean to Russell Henley. I'm skipping that. I start like around 60-1. Alex Noren, Daniel Berger, Min Woo Lee. Those are guys that I have targeted this week. I've also played a bunch of like really long shots. Andrew Novak, 100-1. Matt McCarty, 130-1. Davis Thompson, like 80-1. This is I might have like 8 guys this week, but spend less on a week than I like bet 3 guys.
Okay.
If that makes any sense. But you're just throwing like, I like to throw longer shot darts here. I've had a lot of success here with long shots historically. And, you know, it's not to say one of those great players can't win, but, you know, guys that I trust to wedge it and putt it home. My favorite bet though this week though, like an actual bet that we can make some money on would be JT Poston top 20. That's coming in at about plus 270. The mailman always delivers around here. He is a Pete Dye disciple. You know, these are Pete Dye courses. So you just look at the sort of players that have had success historically on these Pete Dye tracks. And JT Poston, that plus 270 top 20 would be my favorite one here. You look at RSM, you look at St. Jude, you look at RBC Heritage. JD Poston on Pete Dye tracks. I think he's got 3 straight top 20s here. You know, sometimes there's just horses for courses. It was free with Nick Taylor well, I don't mean free. It actually got sketchy at the end there while everyone was watching Caleb and Stafford. But yeah, JT Poston T20 plus 270. My favorite bet of the week. One will make some money on, one you'll congratulate me on next week.
Sounds good. Better news for you. The plus 270 no longer available. Plus 320 is though. Over on our good friends at FanDuel. Jeff,
all right. Even better. It makes
even
me
better.
Sound like I guess I'm a mark.
No. I know.
They move. They're volatile. You know.
Yeah, these things move all the time. These things move all the time, and it could just be someone coming in on a certain.
I don't think there's like. Well, I don't really see the no top 20 markets, but yeah.
No, we got it at plus 320 over at FanDuel.
I get like, you know what? I'll acknowledge maybe like there's been a win report and he's starting it like he's on the tough rotation.
Maybe
like there's so many more I hate the 3-course rotation. It's really one of my lightest exposures of the year.
That's all right.
Despite reaming off like a bunch of names to win, it's really like just muck there.
Muck.
This would be my least favorite event on the calendar.
All right. Well, I forced you on here to talk about it. So, Jeff, I appreciate you coming on to do that. Before you head out, 2 things. Number 1, Huckleberry Finn in the chat. That's some sharp stuff right there. I agree. I believe you graduated. To me, you're no longer a sophisticated square.
Yeah, I am, because I still make like I'm betting outright golf. It's the highest hold market in golf. I just, guys I trust, Minwoo Lee, Daniel Berger. I don't think I'm aware when you're betting, if I win, I'll also think I'll get lucky. I'm not going to one of these people that think they're smart enough to figure out, one guy in 150.
This is what I see you as. I don't know what the word would be for it, but you are a boat. There is holes in your boat, and you know that there's holes in your boat. So instead of fixing your boat and patching up all your leaks and sticking to the JT Poston plus 320 markets,
yeah, you know what those holes are? They're just like hash bods that fell out that create holes. So I'm making the holes in my boat. I know I'm being a square.
But you have this incredible pump that sits in your boat that's able to just flush out the water and keep you afloat as the day goes on.
Yeah. It's good.
All right.
I wouldn't be afraid to show my FanDuel P&L.
Yeah, I know you're not.
I wouldn't be ashamed of it.
I know. You're sharp. We know. You're not.
No, I'm not.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are, Geoff.
You got better people to talk to than me.
Yeah. So I have one more question. Kirk can wait. Kirk can always wait. One more question.
No,
you see him in the background. He can wait. Wait.
No, I want him to get on. Okay, let's go. Ask the question so Kirk can get in.
Okay. What's your opinion on people who were born after their favorite team's last championship bragging about said last championship?
You can listen. The history matters. It's important to acknowledge that it happened and to never forget it. But you can't own it. That's where the line is. When you own it, Dolphin fans with 72 that are my age, or as Kirk pointed out to me on Twitter, Leaf fans think they did something for the second most cups in the league in this 6-team league. You just can't own it. You respect it, you honor it, you never forget it, but you can't. We're not allowed to own that shit. That's the take.
Yeah, it's like the Habs fans that I grew up with when their win was when they were 3 years old, and they're talking about how all the cups are buddy, you weren't even alive. Anyways.
I don't know. Even Pizzola's Cowboy Super Bowl, we could argue are on shaky ground. Okay,
yeah. If you didn't have a formed brain for it, if you couldn't even string together a sentence, I don't know if it counts as a championship while you're alive. Anywho, Geoff, as always,
I'm just certain Pizzola saw the first Cowboys Bills Super Bowl, saw how was probably around people who wanted the Bills to win and were happy they were upset, so he then became a Cowboys fan.
I could see that. Listen, I have a similar story to my original fandom when I first started in. Cheering for and rooting on the NFL, but that's a story for another day. Geoff,
all right.
Appreciate you joining the show. Always a pleasure having you on. We'll chat next week.
Poston T20.
All right, Poston 320. Love it. JT Poston, the Postman. Postman. Speaking of Postman, got some NBA bets today. Look at that segue. Wow. That's why they pay me the not so big bucks. Let's move on to our next guest. Before we do that, I have an ad read that I don't have pulled up, so we're going to do it after he comes on. So instead of doing the ad read, I'm just going to tell you guys, do us a huge favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button if you haven't, and tell a friend. If they like betting on golf, if they like betting on the NBA, if they like betting on NBA futures, if they like betting NBA player props, this is the show for them. So make sure you share it, tell your friends. It helps the show grow, and we've seen the growth over time, and we appreciate you guys, everything you do. Even the comment section after the video's over. Comment section's always on fire during the show, but even after the video's over, I see you guys for the algorithm just dropping comments because you guys know it helps us out. We appreciate every second of that. And guess what? I pull up my ad read, and it's about the Friday Props Show. We know how much you love firing off on NFL props. That's why we've turned the Friday Show into a full props breakdown. Every segment we'll be breaking down the matchups within the matchups for this NFL weekend. You will not want to miss this. Make sure you're there. Jack Miller did a great job last week. Anyways. Mailman. Oh, did I say Postman instead of mail? Oh, his nickname is Mailman instead of Postman. Mm-hmm. But his name's Poston. Poston is way better. Postman is way Postman. No? All right. Anyways, let's bring on Kirk. He is an NBA originator, big fan of the NBA, former frat boy, and how's it going, Kirk?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Good. We're doing great because guess what? How's it feel? First winning bet of the year.
Okay, that's not true.
Okay.
But we did go 3-0. and I feel great about it.
Yeah,
We're hot.
First of all, before we even get into being hot, on fire, win. Jeremy Grant, Grayson Allen, Colin Gillespie.
Gillespie.
Win. I hear it in your voice. You're sick. I appreciate you coming on, battling through the sickness to be on the show with us today.
Yeah, Monday was rough. I'm doing a bit better, but Monday was a face to pillow day.
Oh wow! All right.
Don't say that.
Yeah, that's
again.
taken out of context. That could be a little bit different. Did you watch Circle Back on Monday though? We had a lot to talk about.
No, I actually did. I didn't. How'd you do?
I thought I did a good job. Had some people DMing me saying Kirk should be off the show. You should be on. No, I'm kidding. No one said that. But I did wear a special sweater for you, knowing that you would compliment me on it. So I'm just waiting for you to watch it so you can compliment my sweater.
I'll watch.
All right. I appreciate it. Anyways, also like just some great stuff there. Like for example, someone tried to calculate their win-loss record, their win percentage, by taking their losses, putting it over their wins, and then they got 68%, which is not. I'm not a math guy, but I don't think that's how it works. I'm pretty sure I learned that in kindergarten. Anyways, first winning week of the year in all your betting. No, I'm kidding.
That's crazy. That's actually a crazy
First,
stat.
It happens. Let's. Oh God, the chat is absolutely in love with what you said there about the pillow to face. Getting a lot of ass ups in the comments as well.
That's exactly how I meant it.
Okay, all right, there you go. Where do you want to start here? You have 2 props for us and 1 side total for us. You want to start with the side total? Side or
It's
total?
honestly good that we started a little late because all these plays are kind of the exact same.
Okay.
But yeah, we could talk about the side total.
All right, let's
So
start.
3 plays all.
Are they all in that
all
same
the same game?
Oh, they are. Okay.
All in the same game.
All right.
All essentially for the same reason.
All right, let's do it. We're going to head over to the Toronto Raptors taking on the Sacramento Kings. You're going to want to head over there on FanDuel, head over to the main markets, and you're going to look at the total, 225.5. You're going to go click. Over -114 is what Kirk wants to fire on to start. So, Kirk, give us the reason as why all these props that you like, all these bets that you like today. What's the main reasoning behind it? Walk us through this.
Yeah, so the 2 props will be very similar to this. RJ Barrett's back tonight, and that's been it's one of the few times you really get a player back that Underdog didn't have the tweet. It was pretty late at night from a not super popular reporter. So I just don't think the market is factoring in that RJ is going to be back tonight. So we're going to take advantage of it in a few ways. I think that Quickly could miss. It is a back-to-back for both teams. So I don't love betting an over on a double back-to-back for both teams where guys can rest. But I anticipate everyone plays, and the fact that RJ is going to be back, I just don't think that's factored into either of these lines enough. All
right. You're just thinking that RJ Barrett's not factored in? The word on the street is they're calling you an injury merchant.
I am a bit of an injury merchant.
I'm kidding. You obviously know your stuff here. We actually had some stuff on Circle Back where you could have been useful for in terms of NBA related betting. If just out of curiosity here, do I have free reign to call you if you're ever not on the show and we need an expert opinion on the NBA?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
I don't know if I would have answered honestly on Monday, but
next time we know. And Jacob, you get to take him up on that too if you ever need him on the Friday, because I know Mr. Peanutbettor is just absolute disaster. 2 more props you have here in the same game. I'll just give them both out. They're both in the points market, so you're going to want to head over there. First one we're going to take is Jamal Sheed under 8.5 points -1.
You are doing a masterclass today.
Oh, you
not
should
knowing how to pronounce.
You should have heard me yesterday with the tennis players. Oh my fuck yeah, there are.
That's tough.
I was just don't even. Sorry, I don't even know how to say them either. And I watched tennis.
This is a Raptors guy started the last 10 games.
I actually rarely watch. This is actually, I know it's a little. Okay, we'll do the bets first. Grady Dick is the other one. 7.5 -110 towards the under. So Shed -112 8.5 towards the under on points. Grady Dick points under 7.5 -110. Before you get into it, I actually watch the NBA watch the NHL. I watch most sports, even sometimes the NFL, on mute. I don't know if that's weird.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
I have
No,
I have
like
3
that.
TVs, right? So like I have each TV going. Rarely do I ever like, maybe if it's the end of the game, I'll turn on the sound. But most of the time, I usually just have like kind of just music playing in the background while I'm watching live. So,
I think that might be your sharpest take ever. I totally agree.
all right. So no mistakes by Jay here today. Good to know. Talk us through these games or these bets here. The Jamal Sheet under 8.5 -112 and the Grady Dick under 7.5 -110 points.
Yeah, just similar logic. RJ obviously is a key piece. I think he could come off the bench. He's played or he's missed a lot of time, but just having 25 minutes of pretty high usage play not being accounted for in the props is pretty substantial. Shed and Dick are clearly the two guys who will be affected most by RJ. Shed's been in RJ's starting spot for the last little bit, and Dick just kind of comes down in the rotation when RJ's back. So even 25 minutes of RJ, assuming everyone else plays, will kind of easily get us to these being good.
All right, sounds good. As always, when Kirk comes on, this is how we know we're doing the right stuff here by bringing him on. You got to be fast. I think that's the
Yeah, it
most
looks like
important thing.
Dick's still there, but they locked up everything quick.
It happens. Always shop around, find the best price available. As we mentioned, they actually moved Dick up, so you can get the minus 108 on his under there. So
I'm seeing now back to -110.
yeah.
It's been weird. They had this game locked for half an hour. Like,
Yeah,
these lines have moved a bunch, so it's not like I'm the only one on this angle.
Of course. And also, whenever there's like an influx of many bets coming in at once, they tend to just lock the market. And there's been instances where we've gotten some good CLV in the moment, and then it's come back, and then the number is there available again. But anyways, Dick up, Kirk face down in the pillow. Great stuff there for today's show. Anything else you want to touch on before you head out here? It's kind of been a shorter segment. You called me sharp. Anything else you want to mention?
Well, I said I don't know if I called you sharp. That was your sharpest take.
Okay.
You judge if that's your sharpest take. Are you sharp?
Well, I've had some pretty sharp takes recently. There's one guy on Twitter that keeps on tweeting me that I'm a low key sharp, which I'm like, sure, I'll take that. I'll happily take that.
Is it your burner?
No,
Jason super fan or whatever.
mistakes by Jay. No, I thought it was pretty. I actually don't even know who it is. I think they do have the same initials as me, so that might be a little bit of a red flag here.
They have the same initials as you. They're as tall as you. Same haircut. Same hat.
I also another comment I get whenever I'm on Circle Back. This one is actually real. Is that I didn't realize Jason is taller than Kirk. It's like, sure, yeah, I am.
Who said that?
I don't know, but like the way your mic's positioned, I had to move it up.
Yeah, no,
maybe you just have a short torso, long
He's a
legs.
sloucher.
I'm a huge sloucher. I love sitting low in a chair and I love leaning back. So like people think I'm really short, but I'm pretty tall.
It's all right.
I'm
Yeah,
shorter than Rob, but I'm definitely taller than you.
you're the classic 6 foot guy who's actually 5'9". All right, like we know the drill.
Not fake news.
Before you head out, a friend of ours, my boss, Rob, got into a little spat on Twitter. I don't know if you saw the Luke Wilson stuff. Any opinion there?
I have not seen this at all.
You haven't seen the Luke Wilson stuff?
I have not. Give me a bit of a background.
Oh, Jacob, you could do a better job of this. We talked about it on Circle Back, which, by the way, I don't know why you're not watching. I get you're sick. We'll give you like a little bit of a break.
Well, just like another just another thing about
Analytics.
fourth down aggressiveness and 2-point conversion aggressiveness. And basically right after the game between the Rams and Bears, Luke Wilson was on TSN talking about why the Bears went for it too often on fourth down, and that was the reason they lost the game. So Rob videoed the segment, put it up on Twitter, roasting. Then they had quite a bit of a back and forth before Luke Wilson said he was going on a Twitter hiatus and then proceeded to show some very stalker-heavy behavior, going through like old tweets from what's the game
Johnny
for it again?
Ginta.
Yeah, going through like old tweets from him because Johnny Ginta was going at him, and he found a video from like 6 months ago that he posted about him. It was behavior that even like Matt Zilbert would have been it would have been even heavy for him to even be that level of stalker behavior.
Yeah.
Luke Wilson, a guy who's on TSN.
I've got to the thread, so I'll give it a watch after this. That's exciting stuff. I don't know how I missed that.
That's crazy that you missed that. You were obviously sick in bed, like you said, face down in the pillow all day long, so you couldn't really get around to the Twitter.
But you also said dick up. We need dick down.
Dick down. Okay, all right. Well, it's because of the. Anyways,
it was back up after getting locked.
Yeah, that was the pun.
Dick was back up, but we need dick down.
Yeah, all right. You need that.
Maybe I think Kirk didn't mention it, but with any of the tokens involved, just 3 bets on this play. And
you can SGP it.
Inverse correlation on this as well, probably.
Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
So you're probably going to get a really good spot to use a token here to SGP all 3 of these.
You're still happy with the 226.5, right? I think the main market might have wicked up a little bit here.
Yeah, if you're, I don't mind that. Also, even if you're just going to throw Raptors money line or Raptors spread, not that I really love this number particularly, but I think it is pretty good with that inverse correlation. So.
All right. Listen, they don't call you sharp as a spoon for nothing. So, anyways, It also, by the way, makes so much more sense why you weren't. This Luke Wilson whole debacle had like your face painted all over it, where I expected you to be in the Twitter streets, like just going at him, because he just said, when you read it, he just said some of the dumbest possible shit. Anyways, yeah, I'm shocked you didn't get in there, but now it all makes sense.
I'll take a look.
Yeah, maybe you can reignite him, bring him back from his hiatus, even though he's been, I believe he was still tweeting about it today. But yeah.
Was he actually?
I don't know. Dude. I know he was tweeting 20 hours ago, so I guess that was like 4 p.m. yesterday.
Hiatus.
Yeah. It's all right. It's all right. Anywho, Kirk, appreciate you joining the show. Excited to see what you have to say on Twitter too, Luke Wilson. Gonna be
absolutely
gonna be looking forward to that one. And we'll see you on here next week. Hopefully you're healthy enough, feeling better for the Monday show. If not,
I'll be there Monday. Absolutely.
All right. Well, if you're not, I'm happy to fill
in. Exactly. All right. Later, guys.
Appreciate it, Kirk. Whenever Kirk's face down the pillow, I'm always ready there to fill in. Let's move on. Let's get. I guess there is no moving on. That's the end of the show. Wow, breezed by today. So, what do we think? Do we get the parabola? Or was it ramping all the way up as we went through? I think we had a lot of laughs with Kirk.
I think it was all good.
Which
had
helped
some
out
really
a lot.
good awards information.
Yep.
Of Mr. PV. Geoff, just clip machine.
He's
always some great takes. And good bet here.
Yeah.
Good bets.
Great bets. I need to start, having my phone out during this segment so I can start betting this stuff, because oftentimes when I get home, you fuckers, it's not around long enough for me to be there. So that's one of the adjustments hopefully I'm making towards as we move on this year. It's been a great show, great year so far, great start to the year. Appreciate you guys. Grant Horvath, I'll say it again, best daily show for bets and personalities. That's the goal, man. That has been our goal this entire time. You have no idea how much that feedback means to us. Appreciate that. Appreciate that so much. Hope you guys enjoy the show. One thing I ask, actually 3 things I ask. I know I ask a lot, but do us a huge favor. Smash the like button. I see you guys do it every time. I just have to ask to remind you in case you forget, or if you're new watching here, just know that one little click has a butterfly effect to greater and greater things. So click that like button. If you're new to the show, if this is your first time watching, welcome. Subscribe. You're not going to want to miss it. We are live Monday to Friday, noon to 1. Sometimes a little later than 1. It's 1:04 right now. Sometimes we go long. But perfect time for your lunch hour. Take a break off work, eat your lunch, listen to us, fire off some bets. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. And then finally, of course, gonna keep hammering, pun intended, this. If you can share it with your friends, it means the world to me. Because every little view, every little like, every single one, every engagement we get helps us exponentially. So appreciate you guys for tuning in. Appreciate you guys for being here throughout the entire show. Shout out to Geoff. Shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Mr. Peanutbettor. Shout out to Jacob behind the board. Shout out for you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do we have anything coming up on the network?
Not today. Tomorrow there's going to be a Circles Off video, though.
Tomorrow, a Circles Off video. And I'm sure it'll be live right after the show. That you're going to be.
Yeah, we'll do 1 p.m.
1 p.m. Or we can do it later. It's fine. I don't know what your day looks like
1 p.m.
tomorrow. Okay. All right. 1 p.m. Eastern time. And then, of course, Friday morning, as per usual, circle back. if you've seen the Circles Off Twitter account had a little bit of a viral or heavy engaged with tweet that I'm sure will be the topic of conversation or a topic of conversation on Circleback as Jacob behind the board is just like rubbing his forehead like, holy fuck, I have to talk about this again.
Some people are so full of shit.
Full of shit, full of air, full of milk, whatever you want to call it. Anyways, appreciate you guys tuning in today. That wraps things up. Hope you enjoyed the show. This has been the Wednesday, January 21st edition of the Hammer Daily here on the Hammer Betting Network, presented by FanDuel. We will see you guys right here tomorrow.